Hi, Floss Tube. It's Kara, the Granite State Stitcher, both here on YouTube and on Instagram. And this is a channel mostly about cross stitching, but with other crafty endeavors thrown in. But welcome. If you are new here, if you just found me, I hope that you stick around if you like what you see, and please subscribe and leave me a message down below letting me know that you're new and let me know where you're from. And I would love to reply back to you. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. And I just noticed that we're going to get this sun glaring in through the slider here. That's okay. I guess it will just make the lighting better. So I know that many of you are probably surprised to see me back so soon after shooting my video last week, where I basically had nothing to show because I had been, out of commission for 2 months basically. But I was busy this week, guys. I made the commitment that I was going to get stitching done. So I'm very pleased that I have things to show you. And I also got caught up on watching my floss tubes because I hadn't watched Floss Tube for a couple months either. And so I just want to mention a couple of channels that I did watch this week, get caught up on. One channel in particular, I did some binge watching. But first, let me give a big hooray to Shelley Fry, Antique Needleworkers. Oh my gosh, girl. Now, again, I've been gone for a while, and evidently Liz started her own channel, and Shelley's flying solo now. And kudos to you, Shelley. You are a natural. You will be fantastic. Your videos are so amazing. I feel like I am a kindred spirit to Shelley Fry because she does all the things that I love to do, but of course she does them 100 times better than I do. She has gardens and she cans and preserves, and she has sheep, and she, shears her own wool. She does her own dyeing. She spins her own yarns and threads. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. I can remember when I was a little girl watching my great grandmother and my grandmother. And of course, they had the big, huge spinning wheel in the living room. And, watching your video of you spinning really brought back some memories. Um, but, this woman can do everything. She quilts, she sews. She has an Etsy channel where she finds old quilts and she repurposes them, gives them a new life. She knits, crochets, does rug making, you name it, Shelley can do it. So if you have not checked her out, it's Antique Needleworkers, and go, really, seriously, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And Shelley, you'll do great. You are truly a kind and thoughtful person, and you are the real deal. So congratulations to you, Shelley. Now, the second floss tube that I started binge watching, I have been a subscriber of theirs, but I don't know how it is that I never watched any of their videos. So I don't know, but I'm sure you all know them. Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph. And like I said, I don't know where I've been, but I started, so I watched their latest video. And then, of course, I have to go all the way back to the beginning and start binge watching. Now, Pam, we are kindred spirits too. Oh my gosh. We're both from Maine, and we both like to cross stitch, and we both love genealogy. Hello. Oh my gosh. Pam, we definitely need to connect sometime. I hope I meet up with you at a retreat someday. We will have a lot to talk about. So anyway, these two, mother-daughter, they're hilarious. I'm sure that you've all heard about them, but if you have not, it's Just Keep Stitching apostrophe N, no G on the end. Go check them out. They're a riot. And I have something else in common with Pam, which I will show you in a minute. The third one that I got caught up on was Sherry, Colorado Cross Stitcher. And I love watching Sherry. I love her work. Her work is so good. And of course, she has that beautiful shop. And she had done a video about changing up colors and how you can determine, which color palette you want to use based on warms or cools, or even, with a warm palette, you can add a cool color just as a pop, how to match the colors in your home. Very, very interesting. She does a very good job. So go check her out too, Sherry Colorado Cross Stitcher. And the last one I want to shout out is my gal Erin, the Two Martini Stitcher. She hasn't shot a video since April, and she's back, and she kind of fills everybody in on what she's been up to. And she went to, oh, she went to the retreat in May up in Canada. I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, she was showing a pattern that was handed out at the retreat. Now, when she held up the pattern, it didn't faze me. It was like, okay, that's cool. And then when she showed me what she had stitched, it's like, oh, wow, I need to get that. That's how we enable each other, right? And how many times does that happen where you just see a pattern and it does, it may not strike you, but then when you see it in person or you see it stitched, it's like, whoa, it's completely different. But anyway, so happy she's back. I love Erin. She's so bubbly and she's very diversified in what she likes to stitch. So I hope that she's going to be producing, regular videos because I love watching her. Okay, let's move on to what I've been working on. So here's what else I have in common with Pam, and I am so excited about this. So, little suspense. Donna, 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 Donna. Guys, I'm so silly today. I don't know why. See what happens when you don't have like a load of stress on your shoulders? But here it is. Look at that. Now, you may be saying, Kara, why do you have this in common with Pam? When I started binge watching Pam and Steph's videos, in her second video, guess what is hanging on the wall over her head? This, the New England sampler. I'm going to send her a message. I would love her to take it off the wall and just show it up close in one of her videos and just give me the backstory. Like, how did she come across it? I'm sure that when this pattern came out back in the early 90s, that everybody in New England was stitching it. Why wouldn't you? So I was just thrilled. I was so excited when I saw that on her wall because I have never seen it stitched by anybody. And of course the pattern's so old. So I can't wait. I can't wait till she gives me her take on how she came across this sampler. So anyway, I did pull this out. Get out of the bag. Okay. So what I got done, I'll just look through the sampler here, is I got, right here, this section done. I stitched my last name and the years. Now, this is only supposed to have, whoops, almost dumped over my Dunkin' Donuts coffee. This is the little joke here, because as you all know, I started this sampler back in 1995. And notice that I did not put a finish year in here, because there's no way I'll get this done in 2023. So hopefully in 2024, And you know what? I should just put the 4 in there. That way it will force me to get it done. But yeah. So she has this hanging on a wall. Now, notice I was looking at this and I'm like, what is this thing right here? See that? That is the head of a shovel. Now, do you see the handle going down anywhere? There's no handle. It's just the guy's hands with the head of the shovel. I went ahead and just like stitched in all the grass. I don't know what was up with that. I must have been drinking that day or something. But I'm just going to stitch that over. I'm not going to rip that out and then put in the brown stitches for the handle. I'm just going to stitch over it. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. So I can't wait. I can't wait to touch base with Pam and get her story on that. So I was excited about that. And that makes me really want to get this done now so that I can have it hanging in my house. Okay, so as I mentioned last week, I really did not do anything during Sampler September. All the plans that I had, didn't happen. So I did pull samplers out this week that I had planned to work on during Sampler September. And at least I got work done on some of them, and I will continue to work on them. So the first one it's called the Season Sampler by Margaret and Margaret. And I am doing this one right here, the larger one. And what I like about this one, it has the verse from Ecclesiastes 3:1, which reads, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven." I love that. I love that. So anyway, I did get a small start on this. And I started up at the left-hand corner, and this is being stitched on 28 count vintage country mocha with the called for DMCs. And here's my start. Just a strawberry up in the top left-hand corner. This is going to be so pretty. I mean, if the whole border is strawberries like that, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be really beautiful. So, and this looks like it's going to be an easy stitch too. So I got that one going. And then we have Maria Selby by Blackbird Designs. Now, I realized as I started stitching this pattern by Blackbird. It's going to be this one. You can't really see it that well. And I do have the regular pattern too, it's just in the plastic, so I figured I would show you the photocopy because it's not in the glare, but here's the regular one. And I think that this is my first Blackbird pattern. I don't know if Blackbird was around back in the 80s when I used to, do a lot of stitching but give everything away as gifts. So if they were, maybe I stitched them back in the 80s, but I don't recall. So this is being stitched on 32 count French country mocha. And I believe I'm doing this 1/2. Nope, I think I'm doing it 2/2. So I just got a star on the border going across the top, and that's going to be pretty, that's going to be an easy stitch too. So that's the start. But yeah, I think, seriously, I think this is my very first blackbird pattern that I'm stitching. Just don't tell Carol, the salt box stitcher. Okay, then next is this little cutie patootie. This is my little sampler by Running with Needle and Scissors. Sorry guys, I should have pulled this out. Isn't that darling? That's so adorable. And I'm sewing this for my granddaughter, and it came with the Gloriana silks in the packet, in the pattern, and I'm stitching this on 28 count bone jobelin. Now the material, whoops, hanging threads. The material actually has like a light pinkish hue to it, so I think it's going to go well with the threads. It's going to look really nice. Pick all the dog hair off. My goodness. You know, it doesn't matter how well you clean your house. If you have pets, you're going to have pet fur all over the place because it sticks to your clothes. I swear I could sit and stitch in my underwear and I would still have dog fur all over the place. But anyway, here is the start on that. And this is going to be darling. I have the A and the B, and that's actually the top of the J. It was in the same color as the border. Now, interestingly enough, you see how small this is, okay, on the 28 count. This was actually called for a 40 count, and I can't even imagine how tiny it would be on 40 count. So I'm glad that I did on 28 count. So that's that one. And then we have, this is another old pattern. I've had this forever. I had to have gotten it either in the 80s or 90s. There's no date on it, but Country Stitching, I'm pretty sure they're still around. In fact, I was going to look them up, but I'm fairly certain they're still around, from Pennsylvania. And this is called Rose Tree Lane. And if you look at the pattern, that's gorgeous. That is really gorgeous. Okay. So it makes me want to do this. However, it's stamped on the linen. It's stamped cross stitch. And I'm really not liking it. I'm really not liking it. And I'll show you why. All right. So that's how far that's what I got started. Now, the reason I don't like this is if you look at these X's, they are not connected. There's little spaces in between them, so I actually have to carry the threads over so that I'm not going to have all this white showing. And that has just become more of cumbersome because I have to decide, okay, am I going to carry the thread over going down or going across? I mean, they all have to match eventually, but I don't know. I love the pattern so much that I will probably stick with it. This will probably be one of those that I will be stitching on and then get tired of it and put it away and then pull it out again later on, stitch on it till I'm tired of it and then put it away. So this might end up being a long stitch, but that's all right. I think I'll try to stick with it just because I do like the pattern so much. And then on the 4th, yesterday, I did pull out And a Forest Grew, Rosewood Manor. Everybody's seen this. Of course, I'm late to the party on this one. But Karen Kluber, isn't she a wonderful designer? Isn't she a wonderful designer? Now, this called for, I think it was 40 count. Bone. Yeah, it was called for an off-white color. Cream. I'm sorry, it was called for was 32 count cream. And I'm doing this on a 36 count antique white. I wanted to make the project a little bit smaller because it is so huge. So I changed it up to 36 count and antique white Edinburgh linen, all the called for DMCs, all 103 colors. Now, I'll tell you something. Found this on the floor last night after I put this away. Talk about having floss. I mean, I had floss stuck to me all over the place. But anyway, you don't realize how many different shades of green and brown there are until you do a project like this. And it's just amazing, the variations of the color green or the color brown or even the color yellow. So anyway, I finished the first motif. So this is the first tree. This one right up here. See, there's a little bird. So I have this one completely finished, the first motif. Ta-da! So I'm proud of myself about that. And now I can move on to the next one. For December 4th. So yay. I really like this. This is so fun. I meant to pull this out more than just once a month. I know it's going to take me forever to get done. Okay. So those are the whips that I worked on this week. And I will continue to work on the rest of the samplers that I had pulled for September. I will pull out my First Thanksgiving by Twin Peaks Primitive, and I will work on that this month. And, oh guys, you know what I did not get done? You know my son's wedding was 2 weeks ago, right? Did not get their wedding sampler done. I've told them, you're going to be getting it late, but I really need to pull that out and start working on that too. This shouldn't be taking me so long. You know, that's my oldest whip, and it should not be. It's an easy stitch. I just need to probably sit down and say, okay, I'm going to give this a good 4 hours today or however long I can give to it. So that's it. Now on to haul. Haul is both cross stitch and quilting. So just giving you a heads up on that. If you're not interested in the quilting part, this gives you a chance to tune out. But there are some cross stitch items in there. So let me pull this over and I'll start with the cross stitch items. All right, so I know that you've probably seen this already. The new Cross Stitchers Planner for 2024. And this is by Lori Sykes at My Crazy Life. She has this on her Etsy channel. I know that Colorado Cross Stitcher has it for sale. And I think there's another store that has it for sale. But let me show you. Okay, now I do use Book a Days, basically because I like the calendar portion. Like I don't do all the decorating and stickers and all that stuff. I just keep track of my stitching, okay? But I do not find that this has enough space or enough of the information on the pages that I want it to have. So I also use this. And this is where, I write down, all my projects, all the information pertaining to them, the start date, the flosses, fabric, all that stuff. So I actually use two, so that I can get all the information where I want it to be. This has it all together. So fabulous. I am so happy about this. So it does have, your regular calendar. So I can still keep track of my daily stitching. It does have a couple of patterns in here, free patterns. And it does have other pages where you can, keep track of sales, challenges, finishes. Wow, it looks like every single month has a free pattern. But you also have, stuff like Stitchy Kindness that you can keep track of, smalls exchanges that you do or that you receive, retreat information if you're planning on going on retreat. Look, it even has a packing list for you to take on retreat. It has your shopping list, your wish list, your pre-orders, your kits. Here's your retreat week. And things to keep track of, like restaurants in the neighborhood, or, you can even keep track of your costs. Look, crazy. So definitely, and you have a lot of pages, like blank pages, that you can just write in your information. So definitely a lot more to just this. So anyway, I already got mine in for 2024. And excuse me. This, I swear, I said this the last time. I got these project bags. I don't even remember ordering them. I am not kidding. Now I could understand before because I was pulling all-nighters. I had crazy hours. I didn't know whether I was coming or going because I was so tired and exhausted. But now I've had, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, where I'm back to regular life And so I know that I have not been ordering this stuff in the middle of the night. And that just leads me to the conclusion that, like I said, my dogs have learned how to use the computer and they just go on and they order this stuff. And I'm just waiting for the dog toys to start arriving in the mail. Seriously. All right. So I got 2 new project bags from my favorite project bag maker, Joyful Stitching. And of course, she always includes, I can't stitch that back, unzip that backwards. She always includes the Notion bag, the small Notion bag that comes with the match DMC floss. And then she always sticks the regular DMC floss in the regular bag. She's just so creative. And her bags are so well made. I love her bags. And here's the other one. You know, she quilts them. And that's Joyful Stitching, Deborah Yarbrough on Etsy. And I did get my Color and Cotton Thread Club of the Month. So we have Land of Snow, Nutcracker Prince, Fritz, Cavalier, and Clara. So these are all obviously Nutcracker themed colors. And they're all gorgeous. Look at this. It's like an ice blue. Isn't that pretty? I love Color and Cotton. So that was my Floss of the Month club. And then I did get some cry neck in that I had been waiting for my Just Nan project. And you probably can't tell, but it's like it's a very shimmery white. You can't see that. But it's a white and then a shimmery silver. Yeah, sorry guys. So maybe I'll pull that one back out. I now have the missing threads. These were on back order for quite a while too. And okay, I did some shopping on eBay for some older patterns. Every once in a while, I like to see what's on eBay. And I might see something that like catches my eye, you know, an older pattern that's out of print or so. Show me my dimensions. And of course, this is The Lord is My Shepherd. I remember seeing this before, like years ago, and had always wanted to get this and stitch it. So that will be stitched. This one, A Season for Everything. That'll be nice. And then we have Serenade. And I like this because I play the French horn and the piano. I don't play the violin, but I play the other 2 instruments. And I will hang this right over my piano, which is still right there in my kitchen, by the way, folks. Someday that living room floor will be done. Okay. Then I got a Button and Beads Mill Hill. This is the Village Inn, part of their Christmas Village series. Oops, sorry about the glare. I think that's pretty good. And of course it comes with the floss and all the beads. So that'll be fun. And the rest is quilting haul. So just giving you a heads up. Okay, so we have part of the Fat Quarter Shop, Jelly Roll the Club. This is September, and this is called Cascade. And basically a lot of blues. Can you see that? That's pretty. Those flowery patterns. That would be nice. I've been seeing a lot of people with finishes with this old type material on the back. So that would be nice. And then this is October. This is called Lighthearted. Look at that. Pinks and greens and pastel colors. Those are yummy. And then we have block 5 of the designer mystery block series. It'll go right next to blocks 1 through 4 that haven't been sewn yet. Oh, gonna have a busy holiday season, I think. And then we have Winter Tale Fabric of the Month Club. Look at this. Getting ready for Christmas, folks. Look at that holiday material. Wow. And here it is on this side. Laid out. Look at this one. It has stockings on it. How nice is that? And then we have block of the month, block 5 for a different sampler, vintage sampler. That's going to be pretty. I don't know which one I need to start working on first. And then block 6 of the vintage sampler. And I do have an order in with 1, 2, 3 stitch. You know, once you start watching Flosstube again, you start becoming enabled. So anyway, that's it. That's all the whips, everything I've been working on and haul. So plans, just keep stitching away. Just keep stitching away. You know, nothing else going on life-wise. Spent the day at church because I'm the chairperson of the church Christmas craft fair this year. So was working on that, and my daughter finds out on Thursday where her new base assignment is going to be. So she'll be moving again, third time in 2 years. She's hoping. Everybody, please keep your fingers crossed. Pease Air Force Base here in New Hampshire is on her wish list. So fingers crossed that she gets assigned here back home. That would be wonderful. So yeah, that's about it. And probably next video, I might start putting together plans for 2024. Is everybody doing like 24 starts in 2024? I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to pull out all my whips. See how heavy the whip stash is. But anyway, thanks for joining me. It's under 45 minutes, so I'm happy, and I'm going to be trying to get back onto my regular Sunday routine. All right, so until the next time, thanks and keep stitching. Bye.